Right. Good. So thank you all. I think we had a very good presentations and speaking. It was quite inspiring. So I'm going to talk a little bit similar. I'm going to continue the journey, continue the discussion and movement. So let me start. So I think so today I'm gonna talk about a bit of agenda, giving you a context, the business and what the exact challenge that we're trying to solve, and then we talk about the Gen AI and how we used it, what were the impact, what are the problems that we faced, and also there were lots of talks about regulated domains, especially the insurance is quite regulated. So how do you deal with these evolving technology into that agentic system? Obviously, it's a theme of the day. And then I think everybody else touched upon this human plus AI collaboration. So I'm going to touch upon that as well. And then some of the broader lessons that we learned, which we feel it has an insight for a cross industry. About me, I have roughly 25 years plus experience in tech and leadership and counting. As I said, I tried to think that I'm a great person and I can build a company and everything else. So 5 startups, 2 utter failure, 2 moderate exits, and one, the current one, the Concirrus, big one in the making, I hope. And yeah, I'm really proud father of 2, husband of 1, and just let me add proud as well there, otherwise I will be in trouble. And then my life is split between India and UK and in the airport, wherever the Wi-Fi is. So that's how my life is at the moment. About my company, the Concirrus, it is privately owned, we are a profitable company, and we're really growing at a very high speed. Thankfully, got 80 to 90 people across London, Delhi. We've got other offices in New York as well, which is more of a sales and a customer support side. We started into the marine insurance, and now we're powering this multi-line of the underwriting. We've been very lucky and privileged to have some of these names into the industry. These are all gold mine in terms of the brands who have given their trust in our solutions. Every single name and logo that you see, they're legend in their field. So really be proud to have those in our portfolio as a customers. So let me start with the problem, and then it will make more sense to talk about the AI. So let's take an example of, let's say, British Airways. They have got, let's say, I don't know, thousands of different planes, different types, different kind of planes. And if they want to insure, they have to buy insurance legally and for their own region as well. So when they go and try to buy your insurance, the way the process works is they need to collect all the data about their planes, of thousands of them, their make, model, how they operate, their maintenance schedule, the pilot schedules, their training, and every possible information that you can imagine. They're going to collect all that information, and then they go to a broker, insurance broker, and they appoint them, say, can you help us in get the insurance for my fleet of the planes? Then insurance broker will take it, and they work like a kind of a recruitment agency in some ways, where they take your resume and they'll kind of add some cover letter and some more context on top of it. So that's what they do a lot more other things, but just for a simplification, they take all that data, create a nice pack, and then they will try to email that to, let's say, all the relevant insurance companies, it could be 20 or 30 or 50 of them across different market. And so they will email all that information, which is represented into the PDF documents, like spreadsheets, emails, scanned documents, video, images, Word document, and whatnot. Lots of time even handwritten, notes and everything else. So they just send all that information to the insurance companies, and insurance companies need to take a look at it and then go back to the broker, whether saying that are they interested, and if they're interested, what is the premium? And you can, as you can imagine, there are billions of dollars of premium, which is dependent on this sort of process, efficient and accurate processing. And so if you turn the table and you put yourself into the shoes of an insurance company, what they do is they receive these emails, maybe 10 or 20, even hundreds of these emails into a week. And somebody in their company needs to go through these emails and read the email, read the body, read all the attachment and everything else. If there's image, go through it, and then prepare a collect all the relevant data from all those kind of sources that has been sent over the email, and prepare a kind of sheet that then goes to an underwriter, and then that person can then take a look at this risk and saying, okay, do I want to write or not? But imagine how cumbersome, how like labor intensive, and how error prone that process could be. It takes from days to weeks sometimes to be able to see whether I want to entertain this particular business or not. It's a big problem. It's a burning issue for the industry. And at the Concirrus, we try to resolve that. And as I said, it's not as easy as it looks. So in like 2019 to 2020, we attempted to solve this problem by using this labeling, computer vision, and all that. After a year, we realized it's not going to work because there's no consistency in the information. So it didn't work. And then in 2022, we had this chat GPT and GenAI hype where everybody was saying, yeah, LLMs are going to fix everything. And then we said, okay, let's try to give it a try. So my team built a bit of prototype POC using ChatGPT prompt, dropping all these documents, and then doing some prompt engineering and getting some results. And everybody was super excited that yeah, problem is solved. It's only a matter of a couple of months where we can get this product into the market. And we set the goal to go live within 3 months. Real journey, it's been 2+ years of hard work and engineering to reach to the production grade acceptance. And it was a very interesting journey and very like roller coaster journey as well in terms of getting these things to work in a business context, especially in the regulated market. So that's kind of what happened. The core technical challenge that we had to solve, which we didn't realize, we thought it was a magic and ChatGPT will do everything for us. Unfortunately, it did not. It is deeply unstructured, ambiguous, non-standardized data that is into the picture. And it contains a lot of domain-specific language with the multiple meanings. So what is the deductible ratio? What is your kind of line size? What is your layer and all? So every single meaning has a very different meaning in word has a different meaning in a different context. So it's not a data extraction problem. It's basically you have to interpret about the data and then you can extract it. So it was just not just extraction. So that was really the harder very hard bit. And then we realized that not a single large language model or OCR or a deep learning model can solve the challenge that we want to solve. Some of these models really had a great accuracy and great efficiency into certain types of information. Some OCR really, for example, worked very good onto the tabular data. Some worked really good on textual data. Some OCRs were really good at handwritten data, but they were not as good as other kind of a data. So we had to assemble multiple large language models, multiple OCRs, and other set of technologies and tools together to get the job done, which was good to do when you're doing it manually. But in order for this to work, you have to put it into a scalability. It has to happen automatically and work at a scale. So we had to then build an orchestration layer, another lightweight AI based on heuristic-based learning to basically when the job comes in terms of the extraction, there are multiple agents. The first agent is basically going to take a look at saying, okay, which particular large language model or OCR tool will be suitable for this kind of task, and then it will orchestrate based on that. And so we had to build that as well to make it work. And then another big challenge was that this trust and explainability. That was the biggest challenge for us to resolve before expecting the market to accept our solution. This picture actually tells the story about how we felt for over 6 to 9 months, my team. Really, you try to solve one problem and you get another one. You try to solve that one. So we had to go back to the whiteboard so many different times to really get it to where it is. So first one, I think everybody knows that even the best LLM, they hallucinate. And in a regulated industry and the kind of commercial things where AI is making up anything into the extraction, it is very costly. And then we said, okay, let's put human in loop. Now imagine, which is good, like in human loop, human in loop is needed, but imagine that AI has extracted 600 different attributes coming from 20 different documents. If human has to verify every single output that AI has produced, it defeats the purpose. So then, okay, how do we do that? Then we said, okay, let's go into the scoring, confidence scoring, side, where we will color code the results, saying, okay, green ones means all good, don't worry about it. Yellow means mostly right, just take a quick look. Red means there is a problem, go and fix it, so that humans in the loop can be very efficient, when they're checking AI, what it is doing. But there is a challenge with the confidence scoring as well, because there is no single perfect solution. People talk about rags, we tried that, and then there is like self-consistency checks, cross-model check, probably ensembles approach. There's so many different approaches. They're all good, but not good in alone. So again, we had to build an orchestration and governor layer to build this confidence scoring mechanism agent within our pipeline. Also, we built some proprietary non-gen AI based normal AI, traditional AI based system injected into it. Got inspired by this deep fake, how it works. We did not copy paste exactly the algorithm, but took some inspiration, where you got two model, one is generating content, other one is critiquing it. It's like husband and wife relationship. So tried some part of that as well to get the scoring correct. And then, as you can imagine, to bring the proper automation and proper proper operational efficiency, we had to go beyond just extraction. So the insurance, like the whole business workflow is that you extract the data. Once the data is there, you need to check, is it within my risk appetite? Is it the kind of business that I insure based on my company policy? Is there any sanctions entity into it? Is there this or that? There are so many different rules and checks and balances and enrichment that needs to happen. So we had to build so many different agents who are basically working together to build this whole process automation part together. And yeah, we did like this multi-agent system and this agentic workflows, putting all the layer, all the guardrails, everything else together to make it work. And the biggest thing that we needed to do is the building this insurance intelligence layer, because I think some of other speaker talked about the context is the king. And if you don't bring the right context, everything else is going to be wrong. So we knew that these generic models, while they are very powerful, they do not understand the nuance of the specialty insurance, the language and the linguistic and everything else. So we decided to build the brain, which is basically a very massive knowledge graph, which has very deep domain specific knowledge and taxonomies. And we built it for our initially 6 line of different businesses. But now I think we've got 12. What that means is we had to go back and collect lots of data, talk to lots of subject matter experts, and thousands of the concept mapped, connected, and contextualized. And then we had this massive, graph database of knowledge graph. Now this became the source of truth for our agents and models. So basically think of it that every agent has access to a subject matter expert. So they have to work in the good collaboration with that brain. And it got embedded into everything: extraction, reasoning, validation, prompting, whatever it is, it got injected. And that really helped us to push our accuracy from 80% to 95% plus. I mean, there are lots of cases where we are 99, 100, but there are cases where we are somewhere around 95. So broadly speaking, very high accuracy. And that really changed the game in terms of the whole ROI of this whole solution. While we were trying to go to the nearest bar and get we were excited, celebrate the success, we found that while everything is good, the processing cost of per submission reached to $20, which is unsustainable. No one is going to buy this solution because it is going to be so costly, because these people, big companies, they receive 500,000 submissions roughly a year. So if you multiply by that, even if we don't make any money, it's not sustainable. So we had to go back to the board again and put the beer on the tap, saying, okay, we're going to come back later. And what we did is basically we had introduced a cost optimization layer like a CFO, which is basically again another like heuristic based like cost aware meta learning layer into our governor layer, which was like deciding which model to use in what cases. And we bring that cost element into that picture when deciding where to go for which kind of a task. I mean, it's very, I'm oversimplifying it. After like roughly 3 to 6 months of continuous innovations and working R&D, we got it to work where the processing cost came down from $20 per submission to a single digit, which became kind of quite sustainable and ROI driven, so which was good. And then before we could really take a breathe, we also faced some problem where some of these PDF files that we were getting were 600 to 800 pages long, and as you can imagine, it didn't fit into any context window of any large language models or any other kind of thing. So then, okay, let's do a chunking. If you do a chunking, then you probably lose some of the context because it's like whole file. Then again, another 6 months of R&D to bring this context-aware chunking and linking these chunks to make sure that even if they're being processed parallelly, the context is not lost. So that really solved that problem that we had. And the key, this is my last slide, but the lesson that we learned, like one, POC success is not a production success. What works in 2 weeks might take 2 years, even more, to commercialize. So like make sure you temper the hype. Be excited, but don't be too excited. And also the ROI is not optional. Like you might build a brilliant model and AI, but if it's too expensive, you will struggle to get a launch in the market because ultimately it's ROI. And then iterate, don't idealize. Like, so as you can imagine, and in my like previous talks, we had to go back to the board multiple times. So like, don't give up. So we had to like simply think, I'm not going to give up until we solve it. And there are lots of ideas that became, and we had to scrap it. We felt sad, bad, frustrated, but that's how it is. So we need to be like mindset wise, we need to be very like, focused that it's not going to be easy road. And generative AI is not a magic. It's a math plus plumbing plus governance. So I think we really like, to make sure that it's a very powerful thing. I love it. And it's really great invention, but it has its own limitations. So make sure we are aware. And we need to, that's why you need orchestration layers, fallback logics, evaluation frameworks. And, it's not just prompt and prayers basically. And it's important to stay away from hype and know the limitation of these tech evolution so that you can set the right expectation, because there are lots of panelists here. Like we talked a lot about the expectation management, and that is where it's important to manage the expectation right. And for that, you need to know the limitations and the strength of the tools and AI that you're using. And I see a lot like people start saying, okay, we have to use AI. Where is the where to start? My view is that never start with AI is the answer. What is the question? Do the reverse. Start with the business case first, and that will really guide you a lot, in terms of your journey. Yeah, that was my slide so far. Thank you. If there is